Howdy, pilgrims. This here is Kachi, also known as Delakaba, and I am here with the next installment of Every Critter, Every Map, a series in which I have challenged myself to go through each of the maps in the Hunter and using only my recurve bow, take an example of each species. I'm in the process of getting myself set up here, so what we're going to do is we are going to finish up that process. First thing we're going to do is get some face paint on. It's in slot number 9. Just checking so I know where it is. There we go. We had something just make some noise. I wonder what that was. I missed it, whatever it was. Alright, so we're going to take that, we're going to toss it back in the tent. And I've got quite a pile of goodies with me today because we're in a map that has a lot of different species to deal with. So I'm carrying my hog squealer, my red deer collar, my roe deer collar. I've got predator calls, and I've got things to squawk at pheasants and goose calls and all kinds of stuff. Now, I am indeed carrying my lever action 30-06 just in case things get a little serious, but we will be using the bow for all the animals that we are taking. Now, once I've taken a member of a species with the bow, that means I'm then free to take a member of that species with the rifle if I'm so inclined. But the first thing we're going to do is get a look out here. I'm at my tent in the location where normally we set up for geese. And one of the rules I've set for myself is that I cannot use any stands or blinds to take any of the species that I'm hunting. I'm also not using any dogs or any vehicles. And what we're going to do is we're just going to move back away from the tent, get ourselves in a spot where I can settle in for a moment, make sure that I've got everything sorted out that I need to have sorted out. Get my sensor suppressor on. Since I'm wearing woodland camo, I want to move into the trees here where it's going to help me out a little bit. I need to just double check my recording software to make sure that it is doing its job. It's been a little bit fussy lately. And just as soon as I have checked that, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Everything is working as it should. And it's time for us to make some decisions about where we're going to go to hunt. Now, since I don't want to use anything particularly advantageous like blinds and things like that, even though I'm sure there'd be a great opportunity to take geese in this field here, I'm going to move away from this area so that I don't have that undue advantage. This is supposed to be about my skill as a hunter and archer, not about using a bunch of artificial methods in order to get these animals. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work our way across the road here, and we're going to see if we've got any hogs hanging out in the field across the way. Now, of course, if I was to use my Jeep, I could get to a lot of other areas of the map really fast, but I'm not going to give myself that advantage either. If you've not seen the first part of our series, I suggest you check it out. It was a lot of fun. And there they are, by golly. Whole herd of them. They like to move early in the morning. It's why I've started early in the morning. And they're too far out for me to get a view of any of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to work our way over and see if we can figure out what we got out there. Now, the basic rules I follow is that in species where it's possible to discern males from females relatively easily, I take only males. So that means All the deer species I'm taking only males with the bow. Also the hog species. With geese it's a little hard to tell. With a lot of other birds it's hard to tell, but of course with pheasants it's very easy to tell, and so I will be taking only male pheasant with the bow. It looks like we may have some geese coming down in the field over there as well. And certainly know soon enough. The first thing we've got to do is get across to where those hogs are without alerting them. And so we're going to have to do this like so. Because this forest camo on this open road, I will stick out like a sore thumb. So you'll have to bear with me while I do this in this particular fashion. But they were moving up the tree line, so I should be able to follow the tree line right along, and I'm hoping that we're gonna get a beautiful red deer, beautiful, beautiful stag. I'm hoping we're gonna find a fine roe deer. I did a hunt here just recently with my good pal Hawkeye. We went up to the north end of the map, drove up there with the Jeep, and had a lot of fun hunting pheasants and stuff. He felt pretty bad. We were setting up to try to do a double shot on a pair of hogs coming in, and he accidentally fired early. And the one I was after took off, and we don't mind those things. I let him know that my only regret was that if it was going to happen like that, that I wish he'd have got the big hog instead of the smaller of the two. Alright, we're just about to where we're going to be able to get into the tree line and start to track these guys. We want to keep a sharp eye out because, of course, the hogs are very aggressive. Let's see if we can get a location here. That is a male, and he's out in the field. I'm hoping I can get to the tree line where my camouflage will do me some good, and I can maybe pull him in. As you guys know, shooting without a sight is mostly a matter of having a sight window, a sight picture that you've gotten used to by shooting a lot, which I've done. But that sight picture is kind of dependent on whatever the range is you're used to shooting. And I like to shoot around 20 meters, so I'm going to have to get them relatively close, because otherwise, to compensate for fall off, I have to raise the bow up pretty high, and at 30 meters out, I have to literally cover the animal up with the arrow, and I lose sight of them, and that makes it kind of tough, and not something you really want to do with an animal like a wild boar that'll come in and try to tear you a new one. What I'll be doing today is I'll be working my way south and somewhat east, because it goes through not only good hog territory, but there are plenty of pheasants around in this area. There's plenty of fields that the geese like, but most importantly, there's a lot of red deer work the southeast end of the map, and there's a good chance that I can locate a decent red deer stag by working my way this way. And I think I should be able to come up to a crouch now. We should have a little bit of camouflage now, and hopefully those guys are still out there. I think I see them on the far edge of the field. Oh yeah, there's a whole collection of them. Oh, look at that fella right there. If this was not a recurve challenge, I'd have my rifle out and be shooting him right now. He's a magnificent hog. I could just get the spot on him. Come on. Let me see him. And I think that was him that called. I'm going to drop a dot and then check. Alright. What I need to do is try to get those hogs in close enough that I can take the shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip up to this tree here, and I'm going to do a call and drop a scent patch at the tree. And I'm going to back off some, and hopefully they will come in. So we're going to make sure I got my hog collar up. Right there, and a little hog smelly. I thought I'd just put that in slot 3. Oh, slot 4. Here we go. I'm going to move back to where I can be fairly certain that my camouflage is going to do me some good. Let's see if we can get these guys in here. $700 to $1210, the score on that fella. Get off these tree roots so that I stop making noise here. And hope they come this way. Oh, by golly. I think we've got his attention. I think we have his attention. Now, the range I've got to that tree right there is 15 meters. So it means if he comes in to investigate that scent patch, I'll get the shot. Boy, he's got some serious tusks too. And then I don't think that he's the largest one of that group. I think there was another male who was bigger. But we'll know soon enough. They should come in close enough where I can get the spot on him. Alright, there is a second boar right there. See if we can get the spot on him. He's got to come a little closer, I think. They're trying to make up their minds. I'm a little concerned about hogs coming in from behind us. That's it, just a little closer. Let me see what size you are. I don't know if this 700 to 1210 Alright, good. We know which one just called. That says female. Okay, so apparently that wasn't him that called. He was just shaking his head. Putting myself in kind of a risky situation here. $140 to $650. Okay, so this is the guy we want. Right there. They're both coming in. 140 to 650. Well, what the heck? I must be still getting the spot from that other one. And that guy there. And this rain could really, really help us. That other fella is hanging back. I may have to take the smaller of the two. I want that big son of a gun though. He's coming. We just got to watch him for signs of charging. Alright, I'm going to go prone. If I can, let me go prone, please. Just going to ease over a tiny bit. Come on, big boy. And that big fella's not going to come in. Oh, he's the one I want. I've got to be patient about this. I've got to be patient about this. That I just saw the tusks on that other one. He is absolutely amazing. Now the whole herd's coming in, so I'm going to be at some pretty substantial risk here. But he is a real once in a blue moon hog if I can get the shot on him. I'd take him with 30-06 without hesitation. That's not what this hunt is about. Gotta be getting close now. He is right there. He's gonna see me. That big son of a gun is out there. I'm just gonna scoot myself sideways that he doesn't spot me. I'm just going to have to sit here patiently, and at the last moment, ease over, hope he's there, and if he is, take the shot. That's him. Oh, baby. Run, you mothers. I think that was him. We're just going to sit nice and still. I went for the spine shot. I wanted to drop him so that I didn't have to chase him. The way they're built, I always end up shooting too far back, and I didn't want a gut shot boar of that size with all those other wild hogs around, so let's just make sure they've moved on. In fact, I'm going to switch over to my long arm just in case they haven't. Boy, I hope that was him. I saw the flash of the indicator, but I just don't know if that was him or the one behind him. And of course his tusks are now hidden. Watch it be one of the sows with my luck. Looks like they've moved on. Well, let's see what we got here. Are you a boar or a sow? I can't tell. There we go. It is the boar. I got the spine shot on him. He's a 796. That is perfectly fine with me. Let's get switched over to our bow. Well, let's pick a pose. I do believe we will go with solemn. We're going to see if we can get him turned around so we can see where that arrow hit. And get a look at those tusks as well. And, you know, you'd think the hard part is hunting them and getting them, but this is actually the hardest part of this whole nonsense as far as I'm concerned. I'd like that if I'm lucky. There we go. Move on in. So the arrow shows and the bow. There we go. We're going to accept, and we are going to taxidermy him. There we go. And we had a beeper, but I'm not sure where it was. I'm just watching close, make sure the rest of those hogs kept on and moving. But there we go. So we've got our boar. First species taken. Every critter, every map. This rain works to our advantage. Because it reduces scent and noise. It's going to save us a little hassle while we move down this tree line. Sasquatch, Sasquatch, knocking on the trees, chucking rocks and screaming like a troop of chimpanzees. Sasquatch, Sasquatch, running around my place. Are you the missing link, or are you from outer space?